For our T1 and T2, we actually look at this diagram right here, and we use this diagram to figure out the tension of T1 and T2. So a little physics here is basically saying that this value and this value are supposed to be equal to each other, and this value are supposed to equal to W. And so we basically make two equations, which are these equations right here, these right here. And then once we manipulate those equations and put them connecting to one another, we are able to get out tension AB and tension BC, which tension AB is actually tension 1 and tension BC is actually tension 2. And these are the equations that we use to find those values. And if we go back to our code, we then have this if statement. So this if statement is actually checking and to actually find the max value and the location of the tension. So meaning if the max tension is in T1, then it will issue M, which will M is actually the variable where the max value is put to, and then we have this into sum, and that is actually finding the row in the column or where the max tension is located. Then we have this else statement. The else statement is basically saying that if the max tension is located in T2, then it will do the same process. N will be the variable where the max value is put to, and then into sum is basically the R and the C where the row and the column where the tension max tension is located. And then finally we have our plotting. We finally plot the length 2. We first plot the length 2 tension with tension 1, and then we plot the length 2 with tension 2. And the one in tension 2 is in red, and the tension 1 will be in blue. And then we plug in our title, our label, label, the grid, the legend, the axis, and then if we run this code, this is our graph right here. So red will be our tension 2 and blue will be our tension 1, and this is the graph that we get. And if we look in the command window, you get your mass tension value, which is 3,745.5 newtons, and the corresponding length of BC is 6.13 meters. And so that's the end of our code right here, which is the output. We have our fprintf statement, which prints out the n, which is the max value, and then we have our L2 and the R and C, which is row in the column of the length 2 with the corresponding length that represents it. And so that's basically our code. So I'm going to show y'all just the different scenarios of what our code can detect. So first of all, if I change this into 20 and I try to, well, let me save it first, and then I try to run it, it's gonna tell me, oh, I'm still running. Okay, so right here is telling me warning, length is too long. So remember what I told you earlier that length 1 cannot be greater than length 2. So in this case, the length of D is 16. So it's telling me to input a value less than 16. So I'll put 10. And then once I put 10, then the code runs, and voila, you get your graph and you get your values. So now if we over here, so let me change that back to 10. Now we change this into negative 16 and we save it, and then we run our code again. We get our graph, but the reason why we get our graph is because it's issue a warning, like I said before, and it's saying that the data is negative. but the absolute value was taken, so that's why the code still ran, and you get your max value, your corresponding length, and your graph. And that's basically it. That's our code. Thank you for watching, and go Cougs.